जय जय श्री चैतन्य जय नित्यानंद।
जय जय श्री चैतन्य जय नित्यानंद।
जय अद्वैत चंद्र जय गौर भक्त वृंद।
जय अद्वैत चंद्र जय गौर भक्त वृंद।
जय जय श्री चैतन्य जय नित्यानंद।
जय जय श्री चैतन्य जय नित्यानंद।
जय अद्वैत चंद्र जय गौर भक्त वृंद।
जय अद्वैत चंद्र जय गौर भक्त वृंद।
जय जय श्री चैतन्य जय नित्यानंद।
जय जय श्री चैतन्य जय नित्यानंद।
जय अद्वैत चंद्र जय गौर भक्त वृंद।
जय अद्वैत चंद्र जय गौर भक्त वृंद।
श्री चैतन्य चरितामृत की जय। श्रील कृष्णदास कविराज गोस्वामी की जय।
जय
श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय।
जय
अवेत गौर भक्त वृंद की जय।
जय।
ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्री राधा कृष्ण पादान सहगण ललिता श्री विशाखान्वितांश्च। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्ण प्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे Krishna. Dear devotees, welcome to today's Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita reading. We're reading from Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Leela, chapter 4, Sri Madhavendra Puri's devotional service. So we read that the pujari of Gopinath in Remuna, he took the pot of sweet rice which was hidden by Gopinath, the deity Gopinath, and he went into various marketplaces in the middle of the night, calling out, Madhavendra Puri, Madhavendra Puri, whosoever's name is Madhavendra Puri, please come and collect this pot of sweet rice. This, you are the most fortunate person in the three worlds. Gopinath has stolen this pot of sweet rice for you. Please come and collect it. Like this, he kept calling out in each and every marketplace, looking for Madhavendra Puri. Let's see what happened after that. Etashuni Puri Gosai Parichaya Dila Khira Diya Pujari Tare Dandavata Hoila. So when Madhavendra Puri heard his name being called out, when this Pujari arrived in his market where he was sitting, so when Madhavendra Puri heard his name, he just went and he identified himself. I am Madhavendra Puri. And then the Pujari immediately handed over the sweet rice to Madhavendra Puri and immediately fell down in Dandavat obeisances before Madhavendra Puri. Hearing this invitation, translation. Hearing this invitation, Madhavendra Puri came out and identified himself. The priest then delivered the pot of sweet rice and offered his obeisances, falling flat before him. Purport: a Brahmana is not supposed to offer his obeisances by falling flat before anyone. Interesting, huh? A Brahmana is not supposed to offer his obeisances by falling flat before anyone, because a Brahmana is considered to be in the highest caste. He is supposed to be in the highest caste. However, when a Brahmana sees a devotee, he offers dandavats. Why? Because devotee is even superior to, Vaishnava is even superior to Brahmana. However, when a Brahmana sees a devotee, he offers his dandavats. This Brahmana priest did not ask Madhavendra Puri whether he was a Brahmana. Remember, the social structure at that time, it's not like today. Today, in society outside, whether someone, people don't even ask, I think, whether you're Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. People don't even know, isn't it? Sometimes older people, maybe by titles, they may say, or people from villages, they may have that concept, but they have forgotten this Vedic culture almost. But back then, remember, this is even at the time of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they had this such severe caste, uh, discrimination. Certainly, this caste system is on the bodily platform only, but it had taken a perverted form, right? So, those simply by taking birth in a Brahmana family, regardless, we read this earlier in Chaitanya Charitamrita when we were reading about uh, the various. When did we read? Uh, yeah, when we were reading about Rup Sanatan Goswamis, right? And their meeting with Dabir Kha Sakar Malik, meeting with Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. There we read that people, the caste system was such that um, if somebody, there was someone called outcast, right? Outcasts were not allowed to even come to Brahmana community. They were ostracized, right? Outcasts. And then you had the Brahmana class. They are the chosen ones. They are the priestly order. So such Brahmanas would not bow down before anyone else. So Brahmanas, here it is said that Brahmanas uh, are not supposed to offer obeisances by falling flat. Dandavat obeisances they cannot offer to anyone because they are the highest caste. But if a Brahmana sees a Vaishnava, then he offers his dandavats. This Brahmana priest, in this case, the Brahmana Pujari, did not ask Madhavendra Puri whether he was a Brahmana, but when he saw that Madhavendra Puri was such a bona fide devotee that Krishna would even steal for him, he immediately understood the position of the saint. Yes. So it's not, I'm remembering one more thing. You know, uh, um, Tukaramji, Tukaramji Maharaj, he was actually from the Shudra community, a contemporary of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He was from the Shudra community. But he was such a Vaishnava, everyone would come and fall flat in front of him, offering Dandavat obeisances, even Brahmanas. Uh, Same time, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's time. So the Brahmana leader, like you have in Navadvip, Advaita Acharya was the leader of the Brahmanas. Like that, at that time, the leader of the Brahmanas, Rameshwar Shastri, he was outrageous when he heard that this Shudra is allowing Brahmanas to come and fall on his feet, offer Dandavat obeisances to him. This is outrageous. How can Brahmanas fall flat in front of a Shudra? That's the social situation at that time. So before you offer Dandavat obeisances, you would check, right? I mean, ordinarily, if this is a Brahmana or not, because a Brahmana is not supposed to offer obeisances to someone who's of lower status. But this Pujari, he didn't check with uh, Madhavendra Puri. Of course, I'm thinking Madhavendra Puri is a sannyasi, so wouldn't Brahmanas offer obeisances to sannyasis? They would, I'm assuming. But it's not just because of the sannyasi. Actually, within the Varnashram system, the sannyasi is topmost. Of all 8, Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, Brahmachari, Grihastha, Vanprastha, Sannyas. Of all these 8 Varnas and Ashrams, divisions, obeisances to a sannyasi. That's the reason why Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu accepted sannyas. Actually, in that context only we had studied, because the Brahmanas, they were uh, criticizing Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, right? they wouldn't offer obeisances to him. So for their sake, Mahaprabhu accepted sannyas. But anyway, here Pujari didn't ask Madhavendra Puri whether he is from a Brahmana. And he saw the sweet rice hidden. So it was obvious he's such an exalted person, he's much superior than any Brahmana. So he didn't even bother to check whether he was a Brahmana or not before offering obeisances. That's the point. This Brahmana priest did not ask Madhavendra Puri whether he was a Brahmana, but when he saw that Madhavendra Puri was such a bona fide devotee that Krishna would even steal for him. He's so dear to Krishna. Krishna, the Supreme Lord, even stole something for his sake. When he saw that, he immediately understood the position of the saint. Also, you can consider, why are the Brahmanas the topmost? Namo Brahmanya Devaya Go Brahmana Hitaya. The Brahmanas are so exalted because Krishna, they're very dear to Krishna. The Brahmanas are on the same level as the cows. They're very dear to Krishna. Namo Brahmanya Devaya Go Brahmana Hitaya. He's the well-wisher of the cows and the Brahmanas. And in several places we will see in the scripture how the Supreme Lord glorifies the Brahmanas. If you put some grains in the fire sacrifice, that's okay. But even more, I relish it even more, the food that you offer. When you prepare nice rice cooked in ghee and put it in the mouth of Brahmanas, then I eat through them. That's even more relishing to me than the grains that you put in my mouth in the fire, in the yagya food, like that. And also in another place, Krishna says, the only reason that, I think this was in Prithu Maharaj's episode, the only reason that I am so famous all over the three worlds or in the entire creation, the only reason I am so famous is because I carry the lotus feet of the Brahmanas on my head. The Supreme Lord is saying. So the Brahmanas are not ordinary. Why they are so special? Because they are so dear to Krishna. They are so dear to Krishna. The Brahmanas are very dear to Krishna. That is why they are so exalted. So now, Madhavendra Puri, how dear is Madhavendra Puri to Krishna? Krishna even steals a pot of sweet rice for Madhavendra Puri. He steals for the sake of Madhavendra Puri. So how much more exalted is Madhavendra Puri than all the Brahmanas? Like that. So the priest was intelligent, advanced enough to understand this, that Madhavendra Puri was a bona fide devotee. So understanding this, he immediately offered Dandavat obeisances. He understood the position of Madhavendra Puri. As stated by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Kiba Vipra, Kiba Nyasi Shudra Kene Noy, Jai Krishna Tattva Veta Say Guru Hoy. Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Lila, chapter 8, text 128. Had the Brahmana, so it does not matter whether you have taken birth in a Brahmana family, Kshatriya family, Shudra family, or whatever outcast family also. If you know the science of God, then you are eligible to be a guru. This is the statement. Had the Brahmana priest been an ordinary Brahmana, Gopinath would not have talked with him in a dream. Now, now, okay, that was Madhavendra Puri's position. Now, what is the position of this pujari? So many pujaris are there. How many of us have the experience where Krishna is personally coming and giving instructions to us, either in the dream or in person, in whatever way, like he's actually speaking and you hear him speak to you and tell you what to do. Both are so exalted. Madhavendra Puri is so exalted. Not once, several times Krishna appeared to Madhavendra Puri. In person he came and gave him milk. And then in the dream he came and he said, you take me out of that bushes and then you install me, build a nice temple for me. Then again he came in a dream and he said, I'm feeling so hot. You should personally go to Jagannath Puri and collect sandalwood pulp for me. I mean, how exalted is Madhavendra Puri? And again, one more time he'll come in dream, we will see. Same here in Remuna, he'll come again. 3 times the Lord came to him in a dream and gave him instructions what he wants. And this Pujari also is not an ordinary Brahmana. In his dream, the Lord appears and he tells him that I have stolen this pot of sweet rice. You don't know because I have tricked you. Now you go and deliver this to Madhavendra immediately. So is the Pujari an ordinary person? He's also getting direct, uh, instructions from the Lord. The Lord actually speaking to him. He was also not ordinary. He is also very dear to the Lord. Had the Brahmana priest been an ordinary Brahmana, Gopinath would not have talked with him in a dream, since the deity spoke to both Madhavendra and the Brahmana priest in dreams. Practically speaking, they were on the same platform, like that. However, because Madhavendra was a senior sannyasi, now sannyasi, okay, both are Vaishnavas, both are on the same platform. Still, Madhavendra is senior because he's a sannyasi. So, we don't ever ignore or neglect the social system. The only time when some advanced devotees may override the social, regulations would be if that is an obstacle in their discharge of, love, devotional service to Krishna. Otherwise, oh, we don't need to follow, so we don't care. That attitude is never there. You will always see. They will always follow as far as possible. But sometimes, when they're like, when their flow of devotional service is so overwhelming, then uh, not willingly, but if it is an obstacle, if the rules and regulations come in the way of their devotional service, then they may, you know, they may just override that. But otherwise, they follow the rules and regulations. Although it is not required for them, there is no offense on their part, there's no sin for them if they didn't follow the rules and regulations. But still, they do. They do. Even if they are on the transcendental platform, as long as they are in this material world and they don't have material bodies, but as long as they are in this world, they do follow. Why they follow? Because even these regulations that are given, they are coming from the Lord only. They are not man-made, these rules and regulations. Besides, majority of the people in this world are conditioned souls. So if such exalted persons, everyone is looking up to them, just like Tukaramji Maharaj, he would allow others to come and offer that. It's practically beyond his uh, power, right? How many will he stop? People are coming and offering Dandavat obeisances in front of him, so many of them falling flat. Besides, it's also good for them. It's good for them because as a Vaishnava, if you serve a Vaishnava, then your doors to the spiritual world are open. Your path to Krishna, it becomes free of obstacles if you serve a Vaishnava. So that was a higher principle. That was a higher principle than the principle that Brahmana should not offer obeisances to Shudras. He is not a Shudra. He is a Vaishnava. Vaishnava is even superior to Brahmana. So actually speaking, even from the social point of view, there was no offense. There was no offense because that's what we are reading here. Kiba Vipra Kiba Nyasi Shudra Kenenoi Jai Krishna Tattvaveta. He was a Krishna Tattvaveta. Say Guru Hoy. And if he's a Guru, everyone, all the disciples will offer obeisances to Guru. So there was actually no fault in that. It's not like he was transgressing any social etiquette. He was not. Actually, he was not. So here also, they're on the same platform because both of them were such exalted devotees that the Lord appeared in their dream and gave them instructions. But still, Madhavendra was a sannyasi and he was a senior. Since the deity spoke to both Madhavendra and the Brahmana priest in dreams, practically speaking, they were on the same platform. However, because Madhavendra was a senior sannyasi Vaishnava, a Paramahamsa, the priest immediately fell flat before him and offered obeisances. like that. Next. Hirera Vrittanta Tare Kohila Pujari Shuni Prema Vishta Hoilo Sri Madhava Puri. So after offering obeisances, the priest narrated the whole Vrittanta. Vrittanta means the whole story or incident. Yeah, incident. Which incident? The incident related to the sweet rice. Kirera Vrittanta Tare Kohilo Pujari. And he told how this sweet rice, you know, what is the story? What is the, story behind this sweet rice? He explained how he had made the offering of 12 pots and then he just removed the offering, he cleaned, and in the night the Lord appeared to him and he said, I have stolen one pot of sweet rice behind the cloth curtain for my devotee Madhavendra Puri. You should go and he's sitting in that vacant marketplace. You should go and give it to him immediately. So therefore, I found it there and I brought it for you. You are so fortunate. Like that. The Pujari told the whole story behind that sweet rice to Madhavendra Puri. Hirera Vrittanta Tare Kohilo Pujari. And when Madhavendra Puri heard, you can imagine, the Lord, he was already feeling so bad that I even desired to taste that sweet rice when the Lord is enjoying. I'm so fallen. Like that he was feeling. Now, when he heard the Lord personally stole, because you had that desire, he wanted to give you and he stole that for you. Oh my God, how wonderful is my Lord, right? So, Shuni Prema Vishta Hoilo Sri Madhava Puri. Prema Vishta, he became overwhelmed with love for Krishna when he heard this. When the story about the pot of sweet rice was explained to him in detail, Sri Madhavendra Puri at once became absorbed in ecstatic love of Krishna. प्रेम देखी सेवक को है होइया विस्मिता कृष्ण जे इहार वश होय यथोचिता प्रेम देखी सेवक को है होइया विस्मिता. This Pujari, when he saw the ecstatic love of Madhavendra Puri, he became stunned, right? Vismita, surprised. He was awestruck. My God, this type of love, you Madhavendra Puri's love for Krishna is practically on the level of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Srimati Radharani. Of course, Srimati Radharani is the topmost. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is non-different, Srimati Radharani. But Madhavendra Puri's love is compared to Srimati Radharani's love. That's how exalted it was. When Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's, what do you call, ecstasies were seen by the people, everyone was amazed because they never saw such uh, ecstatic symptoms in any person, in anyone. Like practically, you know, tears would shoot out. Where would you see some tears coming? That's something. But they're shooting out of the eyes like tears, like syringes, like spray of tears, and then drenching everyone around in the tears. Where would you see that? So when people would see Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's ecstasies, they would be amazed. And Madhavendra Puri's ecstasies were like that also. So when this Pujari saw the ecstasy of Madhavendra Puri, he was also, he was awestruck. My God, what type of love is this? Like that. Vismita, right? Vismita means struck with wonder. Prema dekhi sevaka ko hai hoya vismita. Krishna je ihara basa hoy yathochita. Krishna je ihara basa hoy yathochita. Oh, Krishna's, no, not basa, vasha. Vasha means to be controlled, right? Krishna is controlled by this devotee, this Madhavendra Puri. So much, Krishna is controlled by him so much that Krishna steals something for him, right? Sometimes I'm thinking, sometimes you have like a dacoit or someone and he has some people that he keeps under his control. He makes them go and steal for him, right? So out of fear or obligation, whatever, they go and steal, like a don or someone, and he's controlling so many people. In this world, you would see something like that. That means they are so much controlled. They are in a helpless condition, isn't it? Controlled means what? They cannot go out. They have to do that, otherwise they're dead. So like that, they're completely in the grip. So it's like they don't have any independence. They just do whatever this boss is telling them to do, like that. Krishna is so much in control of by this devotee that he steals for him. Krishna steals for him. Of course, you may not think that Krishna's position is, like those people that out of fear or so. Krishna is the supreme master, supremely independent. He cannot be controlled by anyone. Everyone else is controlled by him. Ishvaraha Parama Krishna. Krishna is Parama Ishvara. There's no Ishvara above him. So in that sense, nobody can control him. But there's one thing that controls him, that is love. And the more a devotee is loved, the more the Lord becomes subservient to him. That's how you can judge who is a superior devotee, by the amount of love that he has for Krishna. Madhavendra Puri's love is compared to the love of Srimati Radharani. So you can imagine how much love he has. So when this Pujari saw the love, a glimpse of the love of Madhavendra Puri, he understood. No wonder Krishna is controlled by this devotee. It is actually befitting. It is befitting that Krishna is comes under control of this devotee, and for this devotee he steals. Because look at the love he has for Krishna. My God. So this was the realization of that Pujari. Prema dekhi sevaka ko hai hoya vismita, Krishna je ihara vasha hoya yathochita. Yes, this is befitting. Translation. Upon seeing the ecstatic loving symptoms manifest in Madhavendra Puri, the priest was struck with wonder. He could understand why Krishna had become so much obliged to him, and he saw that Krishna's action was befitting. Purport. A devotee can bring Krishna perfectly under his control. There are so many examples of how Krishna becomes under control of his devotee. Krishna says, I have become the property, like about Vasudev Datta. The Lord said, now I have become his property. Like I become helpless, like a small baby or like a toy, right? Now I am in his hands. He can give me to anyone he likes. I'm his now. I have become his property. He can sell me, not give. He can sell me to anybody he likes. Like this. Krishna becomes completely conquered by the love of a devotee. So a devotee can bring Krishna perfectly under his control. This is explained in Srimad Bhagavatam 10th canto 14th chapter, text 3. Ajita jitopyasi taistrilokyam Krishna Ajita. Ajita means the unconquerable. Jita api. But even the one who is unconquerable is conquered. Krishna is never conquered by anyone, but a devotee can conquer him through devotional service. Actually, Krishna is Swarat. He is supremely independent. He is Ajita. He is unconquerable. But by his pure devotional service, a devotee can conquer him through devotional service. As stated in the Brahma Samhita, Vedeshu Durlabham Adurlabhamatma Bhaktau. So in the Brahma Samhita it is said, Vedeshu Durlabham Adurlabham Atma Bhaktau. Right? Through the Vedas, if you try to attain or acquire Krishna, it is Durlabham. It is extremely difficult. It's not possible. It's very, very difficult. Adurlabham, it is not at all difficult for Atma Bhaktas, the devotees, pure devotees. One cannot understand Krishna simply by reading Vedic literature. Although all Vedic literature is meant, Vedaischa Sarvair Ahameva Vedyaha, right? Although all Vedic literature is meant for understanding Krishna, one cannot understand Krishna without being a lover of Krishna. Therefore, along with the reading of Vedic literature, Swadhyaya, one must engage in devotional worship of the deity, Archana Vidhi. Very important, huh? Along with reading Vedic literature, one must engage in devotional worship of the deity. Both have to go parallelly. Together, these will enhance the devotee's transcendental understanding of devotional service. Shravanadi Shuddha Chitte Koraye Uday. Love of Godhead is dormant within everyone's heart, and if one simply follows the standard process of devotional service, it is awakened. But foolish mundane people who simply read about Krishna mistakenly think that he is immoral and criminal. So that's why simply by reading, we have professors, right, in studying Bhagavatam and then getting their degrees. But simply by reading about Krishna, you cannot understand. You must also worship, you must render practical devotional service. So for us, both Pancharatra Vidhi and Bhagavata Vidhi both are given. Chanting, hearing, Bhagavat Katha, all this is Bhagavat mark. And then Pancharatra Vidhi means worshipping the deity, right? Mangalarti, Gaurarti, uh, bathing the deity, Abhishek, all these. So both have to be done. Otherwise, simply by reading, your conclusion will be, oh, Krishna is immoral. How he can act like this? You won't understand. Because Krishna will reveal himself. We discussed this in the last class, right? Krishna is only, we can understand Krishna when he reveals himself. Otherwise, it's not possible. And he will reveal himself when he is pleased by our devotional service. He is only hungry for our love. And that love is expressed through service. It's expressed through service. It's not just a sentiment. It's actually service. That's why Srila Prabhupada translated bhakti as devotional service. In fact, bhakti is coming from the root word bhaja, bhaja. And bhaja means seva. Bhaja means seva. That is why devotion means you may not think it's like some, sentiment or something. I feel love for someone. No. Love means seva. Devotion means seva. So you can understand the Lord when he reveals himself, and he will reveal himself when we actually render devotional service. So Srila Prabhupada is saying, along with hearing and reading the Vedic literatures, we must worship the deity. So with that, I'll stop here today. Thank you all very much. Hare Krishna. Hare
Thank you,
Krishna.
Mataji.